Yeah, what's good, YouTube? Oh boy, a black man just can't have a fucking opinion, man. Ever. A black dude with an opinion is like a black dude with a gun. I'm speaking on this Mayweather, this Floyd Mayweather tweet on Jeremy Lin. Now, for those of you who've been under a fucking rock, Jeremy Lin is a basketball player in the NBA, and he plays for the New York Knicks. And the past week he's had an amazing week for you could basically consider him a rookie. He's technically not a rookie, but you could consider him as one because the playtime, as to the playtime he used to get and the playtime he's getting now, and he just exploded overnight. That's like what it's about. So with his recent success, there's been a lot of there's been a whole new fan base, a whole new energy, a bunch of journalists writing articles, sports analysts covering him, and just a lot of fucking hype and publicity, a lot. Now, those of you who follow my channel, y'all all know I'm from New York, and with this Linsanity, I'm loving it. It's good for basketball, it's good for New York, it's good for the city. And it just makes people like the Knicks again. And I don't know about. I'm pretty sure y'all do know that like the Madison, like anything that goes on in Madison Square Garden, it must be done to the elite best. If you're performing in Madison Square Garden, trust me, you're a big fucking artist, and that show has to meet standard. The Knicks, they play on the biggest stage in the world, but unfortunately for them, they just can't get over the hump in recent years. So here comes Jeremy Lin. And a lot of people love Jeremy Lin. I know he has a huge Asian fan base, and that's cool. But I think a lot of people connect with Jeremy Lin due to his underdog story. Everybody loves the underdog. Everybody relates to the underdog. Everybody like when there's way more people that can relate to an underdog than there is that can relate to some rich motherfucker. Because let's just be honest, how much of us is going to be rich in our lifetimes? Or ever even experience one day of being rich and being on top? As compared to being a fucking underdog, being somebody that's just written off and doesn't have high expectations of any sort. Now, I seen with the success of Jeremy Lin that it was a bunch of implicated racism going on, you know, because technically Jeremy Lin is not doing a damn thing that other black NBA players, NBA league, which is dominated by black talent, isn't doing every night. And if they don't do it every night, they do it every other night. You could expect this from them. If Chris Paul was to have a week like Jeremy Lin had, trust me, I don't think five people will be talking about it. It will just be, oh, okay. That's the usual. But I'm starting to see these journalists, these publicists, the sports media. Some of these guys are getting real disrespectful with the shit that's coming out of their mouths. And mind you, like I said before, people connect to the underdog. They do not connect to the guy that's on top. They do not connect to the guy that's rich. Now, what it is that these journalists are doing, and I could speak on this topic better than a lot of my fellow guys, my fellow YouTubers, because I'm from New York and I hear it more direct than you guys. You know, because Jeremy Lin had to, I think he had to explode maybe 3 days more to get that national coverage from the NBA and the whole sports world, period. But for people here in New York, we was on to him a little earlier than that. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is like these sports writers, the publicists, they're making this smear campaign, just basically trying to destroy the black athlete. Perfect example: Amari Stoudemire, Carmelo Anthony. Now these guys are rich and they're black. That's two things people do not connect with. You know, the black man is always shitted on, whether he's successful or not. And if you rich, forget about it. If you black and rich, people just really do not connect to you. So they're trying to make it seem like these two guys, these guys that's making, one is making 100 million in his contract, the other one is making 60. Do you guys know how much Jeremy Lin is making? I'll tell you, Jeremy Lin is making $500,000. And if you don't believe me, look it up. I mean, I know that's under the salary, the minimum salary of an NBA player, but I'll explain to you why he's making that much. Because you got to understand, the minimum salary of an NBA player, I think that's either 700 or 800,000. It's one of them. Jeremy Lin did not play. That would be the yearly salary of Jeremy Lin if he played 82 games. Jeremy Lin did not play 82 games. Nobody played 82 games. That's for one. We was in a lockout. Then they picked him up late. And they did not sign him for the entire year. They just signed him for a couple games because they needed a guard badly. Baron Davis was injured. And they had a serious void in the point guard position. So they just needed to acquire a guard from the D League. And that's what they did. And they didn't even sign him for the entire season. I think they signed him for about maybe a couple weeks or some shit like that, or a couple games. So that's why his salary is so low. That's why you hear of him sleeping on couches, because he never settled in New York. So these writers, they're using their smear tactics. You know, like the similar shit that 7-8 Fight News exposed Boxing Bell for. Those little smear tactics, you know, to make Carmelo Anthony and Amari Stoudemire appear like the fucking enemies of this, like the enemies of the world. Where all these guys were doing was just playing basketball with conflicting positions. And everybody always knew, hey, this team needs a point guard, because everybody's out of sync. That's all it was. And I'm not saying this in no way, shape, or form to take away from Jeremy Lin's talent. The kid is talented. You know, I'm not saying that to take away from anything this guy is capable of doing or what he has done. I'm not saying this to take away anything. But I'm not giving him anything either. I'm not just going to give him stuff that I've seen other players have to grind to get. You know, just because he's Asian. And I admit, I'm a part of the Linsanity, because I just love the fact that this is a real underdog. And regardless of race, in a sense, as a black man, you could always relate to a fucking underdog. Because Jeremy Lin, he had to beat a lot of obstacles to get to where the fuck he at. Let's just be honest. First off, this kid is fucking Asian. Asians do not excel in basketball. Secondly, he's from an Ivy League school. The elite talent in basketball are not in the Ivy League schools. It's either or. It's either you're 100% dedicated into your books, or you're dedicated into your craft on the court. This kid is from an Ivy League school. That's why those schools like Yale and Princeton and Harvard, you never hear of them in the during March Madness or any of that shit. Then when he finally makes it to the NBA, and mind you, he wasn't even drafted. He's cut from the first team that picks him up. Then he's cut from the second team that picks him up. Then he's sent to the D League. He's sent back down under, and he had to redeem himself. So, as a black man, yes, I could relate to his underdog story, and I can admire that. But I will not for 1 second buy into these smear campaigns and these disrespectful journalists who's finding a excuse to let out their racist hate. You know, who's trying to feed off this Linsanity energy to express their racist ass feelings that they had all along. You know, it's like right now they got an excuse to say some of these just audacious statements that they making, man. I can't believe some of the shit I heard. You know, like some of the shit I heard is just disrespectful, now. I mean, and all that does is breed animosity amongst the players. And I hope that, you know, guys like Melo Stoudemire, everybody else on the team, everybody else amongst the whole NBA are mature enough and have enough sense to know that this shit is just coming from racist sport writers, period. It's not coming from Jeremy Lin. And it's not coming from his immediate family or anything like that. It's just coming from these racist sport writers that's trying to feed off of energy to let off their racist ass hate. That's all this shit is about. So the other day they had a segment on ESPN, and they were asking each other if Jeremy Lin's success is due to him being Asian. And everybody gave their honest opinion. I think one of the guys did say that, you know, him being Asian, hell yeah, that got something to do with it. And Mayweather tweeted, you know, I'm not taking away anything from Jeremy Lin, but there's players in the NBA that's doing what Jeremy Lin is doing every night. You know, putting up those numbers every night. Averaging those numbers for the season, for their career. And they never get these type of praise. So it is because he's Asian. Like if you're speaking logically, it has to be because he's Asian. It just has to be. He's not doing nothing that nobody else ever did. You know, so but what they do, they hear that, they see who said it, they're like, oh, another black rich athlete who's richer than the two guys I just mentioned and hated more than the two guys I just mentioned. And they switch it up against him and make it look like he's being racist. I mean, man, these guys are so fucking evil, man. And I just hope. I really just hope, man, that Pac-Tard shit don't slip into Jeremy Lin. But I highly doubt it though, because Jeremy Lin is in New York, And I tell you, if these Asian dudes got the balls to speak like how they speak online to dudes in New York face, I feel sorry for them. I mean, I'm not even saying that to sound tough. I'm not even saying that to brag or boast. I mean, it will be some young Asian dudes in the hospital. I mean, because like I said, one thing we all gotta remember: a lot of dudes over fuck with boxing anymore like that. I don't know. I don't got not one person from my personal life that ever came up to me and said, "Yo, I seen your video on such and such." Because honestly speaking, anybody in my circle or people I know, they what you call a casual boxing fan. They the ones that will tell me some shit like, "Yo, they still in the past thinking that the Mayweather Pacquiao fight can't happen because of a drug test." Or that Mayweather's scared. You know the shit that Bob Arum will feed to the media and that the media will feed to them? They what you call a casual fan. They don't know nothing about what goes on behind closed doors in boxing. They know nothing about that. So I don't speak boxing with those guys. I speak boxing with you guys. You understand? So I'm saying I just hope that Pac Todd shit do not slip into Linsanity, man, and plagues this dude and plagues this young kid's image as being supported by a bunch of racist ass Asians, man. Cause I would hate that. But I doubt it could go far. Maybe abroad, but that shit cannot happen in New York. Nah, I mean it can't. Just honestly speaking. Nah, I mean the Asian population ain't even all that crazy in New York. The basketball courts is not. I don't see Asian kids on the court. Like I don't know where these guys are gonna be at to get bold and talk all that racist shit. Like the stuff we see Pac Todd say. And I even had to ask the other day. I was watching some video. And I was like, yo, where do Filipinos fucking live? Cause I don't come in contact with these motherfuckers, man. Cause I'd be damned if I was to ever have any of these dudes say the shit that they say to me on this YouTube shit or on these blogs and boxing fan sites and all of that. So I was just asking out of curiosity, where do these guys live? And I received back some replies saying that they reside in California and then like on the West Coast. That's where they mostly reside. But I don't really I doubt that Pac-12 shit could slip into Linsanity because basketball is just clearly it's just clearly. I mean boxing is clearly too. But basketball is just clearly the black man sport. You know what I mean? Hey, you name any fucking great. His skin is fucking black. I mean, so I would think they could get far with that bullshit, man. They wouldn't get far, man. But I just wanted to put that out there because I already see these journalists. I already see their strategy, man. It's real low class, to try to flip up a guy's words and make him appear like he's racist. And in the same article I read, look at the tactic this journalist used. He said, and Floyd Mayweather is documented as saying racial comments to Manny Pacquiao in September of 2010 to make it look like he really has it out for these Asians. It's just sad, man. I mean, to all the Asians out there and to all the stupid people, please do not buy into that shit. I mean, I know we're living in a society right now where people do not even think for themselves no more. They just go with what they told. But I'm telling you right now, please do not buy into that shit. You know what I mean? It's not real. It's just a facade. Alright, man. I ain't even want to make this video this long, man. I'm gonna wrap it up right here. Y'all take it easy, yo. I'm out of here. One.